Happy Thursday morning to you. I am coming with you today with some tips for Google Sheets. So, I have open a spreadsheet. Right now, it's on a blank spreadsheet. And I just wanted to talk to you about some of the basics of Google Sheets and then a couple of formulas that I use a lot. So, one thing for you to know is in Google Sheets, every one of these is considered an independent cell and they all have a name. So the name of this cell is going to be A1, and this would be B1. And if I go down, then this should be B1 because it goes one all the way across. And if I go down, these are considered A2, A3, A4, and Google will automatically do a fill-in, by the way. It tries to guess what you want to be next. So it's filling in for me the names of the columns and rows. Okay, so look, it messed it up. It tried to do, so this would actually be C1, right? So it did not pick up that pattern. Okay, so just for you to know, you can do that with a formula. So let's say that I want to multiply this by this, and this is where I'm going to put my sum. So I'm just going to put a random number in here, and I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to put the equal sign. And that means this cell is going to be equal to whatever formula I put in. So I'm going to do A1 times, or plus, let's do plus B1. And that's going to add these two together. And if I press enter, it works like a calculator. Not that impressive, I know. I can change this. I could divide. I can do all sorts of different things with just basic math in here. So this can be useful, but the real showstopper with Excel is how well it deals with a lot of data and how it can convert numbers into data. Or I'm sorry, not numbers, how it can convert words into data, okay, or letters. So I'm going to come over here to my attendance because this is the thing that I do every single day. So I'm going to show you, and I already have some formulas in, so I'm going to go to where there are no formulas, okay. I'm going to go all the way here to this row. And what I do for attendance is if a student is present, I mark whether they were present in the AM or the PM. So I'm going to put some AMs in here and some PMs in here. But I want to know how many students I had in the morning and how many students I had in the afternoon. So to do that, I'm going to click the equal sign because you always put equal if you're trying to do a formula. And it has actually already suggesting, because I've typed this formula in already over on the left, count if. So count if is going to count the number of cells with a certain condition. And earlier I typed in the cell name, but you can just highlight and it will automatically fill in the range. So it filled in all the way up to the top for me and down to here, okay? Now the next part of this argument needs to be, what am I counting? So I'm going to count if it says AM. Notice that I put quotation marks in there around it, okay? And then I need to close my parentheses. So now this is a formula telling it to count this range of cells if it says AM. So I'm just going to press enter, and now I have a count of 2. I could do the same exact thing and do PM, and it makes it super easy for me because I can drag this down and it's going to pull down my formula. Now, one thing it does is it changed it one down because I went down a cell, right? So now it's counting line 200, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go over and change this to 199. And I don't want to count the AM, I want to count the PM. So I'm just going to change that to PM and press enter. So I have 2 PM, 2 AM. Let me show you how I know for sure this is working. I'll put in a 3rd PM there. And then now that you have that formula, it can just be dragged across. You can just drag it. And now it's looking for AM in this cell. So I could do this for the whole year really quick and really easy. The next thing I want to show you super quick is how I can do an average. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click the equal sign, and I'm going to do average. You can also do an average if, depending on a criteria, but I'm just going to do an average, and it's going to ignore text. So it's only going to look for numbers. And I know I want to average the row 200. And so I'm going to do D200 colon, and my last row is CP200. So now it's going to be an average of that row. And you could do the click and drag thing. Just for me, I have it in my head, so it's easier to do the numbers. And right now it says my average attendance is 12, of course. It does have all the zeros in here for all my all my days that I haven't had yet. Anyway, I hope this is helpful to you and can help you think about how you can use sheets to reduce some of the figuring out of things. You don't have to count students, it can count them for you. It does a fabulous job of that. If you have any questions, let me know. And this has been another Tech Tip Thursday.